My fellow Guardians, what is going on, y'all? Welcome back to another Sly Nation video and part 2 of my Prophecy Dungeon Guide. Now in the last video, we went over the introduction, the moat mechanic, special mods, and weapons, and how to beat the Phalanx Echo. In this video, however, we're going to be taking a look at the next kind of transition area, a place called the Wasteland, and then we'll dive into the second real encounter within the dungeon called the Hexahedron. Now this first transition area is actually really easy, guys. All you have to do is hop on your Sparrow and as a team head towards the Blights. There are these circular lights all around the map with a few in the center as well. They all each have some kind of ruin within them and these structures that enemies sit on top to snipe from. This is where the Blights will be spawning in and will be located. All you have to do, take care of the 3 Blights in 3 different areas, 9 Blights total, and then within the middle of these ruins, as soon as you get rid of the Blights, you're going to see Toland chilling in the center. Just activate him by walking through it and then he will disappear, leading you to the next area. A quick tip, if you watch Toland closely as he leaves, his orb kind of leaves a trail. That trail points you in the direction of the next blighted area. So just hop on your Sparrow and kind of go in the general direction the orb left. All you have to do, take out the Blights, and that's really it, guys. Now there are some big taken Vex roaming around the area as well. You can kill them if you wish, but they're mostly a distraction. I don't think they really do anything just quite yet. It could be tied to something later on in the season. I personally wouldn't worry about them. However, there's also a secret chest within this area, and check the link down below if you wish to see where the secret chests are within the new Prophecy dungeon. I don't want these guides to become too crowded or too long, so I decided to put the chest on a separate video. Like I said, link is down below if you wish to check it out, but it's fairly easy to find. Okay guys, so once you destroy all the Blights around the area, you're going to hear the same noise that comes up during the Reckoning after clearing the bridge. That means you're done and you can continue onwards. Head to the top of a sand dune and look outwards. Notice that the lights in the skybox kind of create this huge box or rectangle in the sky. You want to grab your Sparrow and move towards it. Now you'll know you're at the right one when you see a big pink light kind of emanating out of the center. Eventually you'll come to the next real encounter within the dungeon, the Hexahedron or the Cube encounter. Go ahead and plant down your flag and let's explain what happens here. So basically you're trapped inside a giant cube. The walls, floors, and ceiling are all created similarly with light and dark areas along with 4 pillars of light and darkness, the ones from the introductory encounter at the very start of Prophecy. This really isn't so much of a boss encounter per se, so you don't need DPS weapons here, but you do need a powerful weapon to take out the knights as quickly as possible. They're the same ones that chuck fire at you. Something to clear out trash mobs as well. Wither Horde works very well for this encounter, as does Xenophage. Again, a sword is also a viable option along with Mountaintop, Recluse, or even Izanagi's. The idea here, guys, is pretty simple. On every wall, you're going to see kind of a circular portal looking thing. It's also the same circle that's directly in the center of the floor you're standing on. There's one way above you on the ceiling, also directly in the center as well, and then of course all around the walls. These circular portal looking things are the areas where Toland likes to hang out. Wherever you see Toland, that is the pillar you need to slam your motes into down below. However, if you do not see Toland on any of the walls, then odds are he's on the ceiling. Once again, my team and I figured out this on our own, and even though this will help you beat the encounter, it's only the first week of the dungeon, so things might change. In a year from now, when someone watches this, when swords and Xenophage have been nerfed into the ground and a new strats formed, realize that this is the best way I found to beat this encounter, you know, like the first day in week 1. So with that, let's get to it, guys. To start off, all 3 walk to the center and stand on one of those circular portal things. This will start the encounter and kind of levitate you up towards the center. When this happens, the entire room, aka the cube, will rotate. As you float back down to the ground, start looking around at the walls immediately and try to spot Toland as soon as possible. Again, wherever Toland is located, that is the column you're going to have to slam your motes into. So be sure to call out if Toland is by a pillar of darkness or a pillar of light. Like we talked about in part 1, to get motes of dark, you have to stand and kill the knights while being in the shadows. If you wish to get the knight to drop motes of light, then of course you have to be standing in a lighted area. Once again, look at the bottom of your screen. This will tell you for sure what type of motes will drop once you kill the knight, because even if you think you're standing in a shadowed area, you might not be, so always refer to the bottom of your screen. Just like the first encounter, you need a total of 5 motes, which takes 2 knights, so coordinate as a team. It's best to have one dedicated runner or mote collector, while the other 2 are on add duty and helping take down the knights. The biggest issue here, guys, is proximity. You're in a very small area, and the knights that spit that fire remix all over the place, all over the ground, it kills you very, very quickly, especially if two kind of sandwich you. There are also going to be taken hobgoblins way above you trying to snipe. There are usually 2 of them, and anytime you pick up motes, they seem to respawn, so always keep an eye out for them as well. Once again, simply run around, grab 5 motes of dark or motes of light, depending on what you need, and then slam them into the pillar that Toland is above. Remember, to slam the motes, it's the shoot button, not grenade, like in Last Wish. So, once you get rid of that pillar, you're pretty much done for this room. Head back to the middle of the room, and you're going to be pulled back up into the air where the cube or room will once again rotate. And then you simply repeat the process. Now, if you do not see Toland on any of the walls, and he's actually on the ceiling, we simply just grabbed the first 5 motes we could and slammed them on any of the pillars so that the room could rotate, kind of like, to reset it to a different way. If you think about it, Toland is on the ceiling. Rotating the cube in any one of the 4 directions will cause him to be on the wall next. So when we saw Toland on the ceiling, we simply grabbed whatever mote was easiest and then slammed it to the closest column of light. Like I said, this is week 1, so it could be that when Toland's on the ceiling, you're supposed to be doing something else that we just haven't picked up on, but this way completes the encounter, so this is how we're doing it. After a handful of rotations, you'll arrive at an area where 2 taken ultras will appear. Both are Centurion Echoes, and they're pretty easy. 1 Nova Bomb and a few shots of Xeno or a few swipes with the sword will take them out. Once you dispatch both mini bosses, congrats guys, you beat the second encounter. Now hopefully, you won't get 3 Husgau rocket launchers 3 times in a row like I did. But one thing's for sure, this encounter is definitely fun, as is this entire dungeon. And yeah, that's really about it, guys. To get out of here, all you have to do is look for that pink tunnel directly in the center of the wall, and then take it back out to the wasteland. The next transition area is probably one of the sweetest looking areas Bungie has created in one of their dungeons. To get to the next area, look for the Taken Fallen Kel, or the Kel Echo, that you've seen right at the beginning of the intro encounter. He'll lead you to the next area. But if you're antsy, just look for another large box in the distance. Hop on your Sparrow, and then keep pushing through. Now, one thing I did notice on my second and third run-throughs is that when you go back into the wasteland for a second time, after the Hexahedron encounter, the emissary will be on a couple of those ruins kind of floating above them. So if you want to hear some cool dialogue or lore, just jump up next to her and she'll start talking. There's also a triumph for finding her, but so far it doesn't seem like it's activated. Although it could just be a glitch, we'll wait and see. And yeah, that's it guys, no real strategies needed here or special things to do during the wasteland and the second encounter, because it's not really that hard, nor is it a boss fight. It's more about controlling ads and working as a team, calling out where Toland is located, and coordinating to make sure you're shooting from the right area to drop the right motes. Also, another quick tip, like I mentioned in my very first video, I would stack a couple of those solar damage reduction mods. 2 is good, 3 is better. It makes a very, very big difference when those knights spit fire at you. Once you have everything figured out, it's actually a very, very easy encounter, and this entire middle section is actually pretty fun, so kudos to Bungo for that. Don't forget that in the next area, you'll have another secret chest, and if you're leveling, they're as good as gold. But for now, that is it my friends. Once again, I'll have the secret chest guide up on my channel. Link is down below, so definitely check that out, as well as part 3 of my Prophecy Dungeon Guide, where we'll go down to the Rainbow Road and beat the final boss, the Kel Echo, so be sure to keep your eyes open for that. As always, thank you guys so much for not only watching, but for your support as well. It means the absolute world to me. If you wish to get in touch, business or otherwise, SlyNationGaming67@gmail.com, or you can find me over on social media, Twitter or Facebook, at SlyNation, SlyNation Gaming on the FB. I have quite a few other videos in the works as we speak, so keep an eye out for more Destiny 2 videos and guides coming out here soon. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I will catch you all in the next one.